budget magic time, playing some Alchemist Burn in Standard. Oh, if I knew we were going to get a second land, I would keep this, but I don't. We're on the draw. We get 2 turns to draw land. We got 21 lands. Alright, we'll try it. You don't play mono red burn to not keep 1-landers. It's mostly good because if we get 1 land in the next 2 draws, we get to Thermo-Alchemist, start playing Incendiary Flows, which is a ton of damage, and can potentially just get us to a Bedlam Reveler, which would refill our hand. Game Trail for our opponent, tapped. Alright, not a land, but it is a 1-drop. Let's just Zergo and pass the turn. Tap land for our opponent. And we got the land. Alright, sweet. So we get in with Zergo. Play Thermo-Alchemist and pass the turn. Now I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at. Opponent plays land, passes. We get a Fiery Temper. Well, let's get in with Zergo. Put our opponent down to 16. And then just Falkenrath Gorger for now. Opponent secure the waste, X2. Thermo-Alchemist, also a good blocker against 1/1s. There's a Nahiri the Harbinger. Kills our Zergo. Well, let's just kill Nahiri with Thermo-Alchemist. That seems wise. Thermo-Alchemist. Kill Nahiri. Incendiary Flow our opponent. Untap Thermo-Alchemist. Put our opponent down to 13. And just pass the turn. Thermo-Alchemist killing the best planeswalker in Standard. Oath of Liliana. Okay, we'll sack Falkenrath Gorger. Opponent attacks, we block. Alright, let's put our opponent down to 11. Well, put our opponent down to 10. Incendiary Flow. Untap our Thermo-Alchemist. Basically, Thermo-Alchemist gives all of our burn spells +1 damage. Oath. Our opponent goes to 6, though. We knock them down to 5. So basically, if we draw land for Fiery Temper, we just win in 2 turns. Another Reveler is not great. Alright, let's Incendiary Flow our opponent to 2. Pass the turn. And just trust that we're going to find a land before too long. We have 1, 2, 3 spells in our graveyard, so Reveler is 5 at the moment. Opponent has a Nahiri. Takes it up. All of our lands are untapped as well, so if we hit any land, we just win. Oath of Nissa for our opponent. Gets a Fortified Village. Come on, land! Opponent gets a zombie. Well, cast Zergo, cast Falkenrath Gorger, pass the turn. Fortified Village for our opponent, tapped. Takes up Nahiri. It's also a little scary that we could die to Nahiri getting like an Emrakul or something. Gideon makes a 2/2. Opponent gets in for 2. Do we draw a land? Alright, there it is. Sweet. Just in a nick of time because we could have been dead to an Emrakul. No redirects, and that does it. Thermo-Alchemist killing the Nahiris. Oh, that was pretty good. So against this deck, I think we definitely want Gold Knight Castigator. And we might also want the Molten Vortexes. And just go down Fiery Impulse. Which doesn't seem to have many targets. And just try it like that. Alright, this is fine-ish. Yeah, we'll try it. We definitely have the potential to punish decks for having clunky mana bases. And being like 4-color Super Friends is about as clunky as it gets. Cinderglade for our opponent. Well, let's Mountain and Falkenrath Gorger to start things off. And pass the turn. Another tap land for our opponent. Well, ooh, and a Castigator. Well, let's get in for one with Gorger. So many tap lands. So get in for 2. Put our opponent to 18, Thermo-Alchemist, and pass the turn. And a forest for our opponent. Oath of Chandra. Takes down the Thermo-Alchemist. Fair enough. We get a mountain. Well, let's get in for 1. Play Molten Vortex. Play a mountain. And pass the turn. So now we get to turn these extra lands, which would be really bad, into some sweet, sweet damage. Because we're kind of flooding out for our 22 land deck. But that's fine with Vortex, because every land we draw is now a shock. Nissa for our opponent. Makes a plant token. We take a couple damage. Let's discard a land. No redirect. Discard a land. No redirect. Put our opponent down to 12. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Gold Knight Castigator. And just... Do we just hit our opponent? Yeah, let's just hit our opponent with both. We put our opponent to 6, and we have Incendiary Flow in hand. So that means they need to kill the Gold Knight Castigator or they'll die. I guess they can chump with the plant. Opponent's trying to figure out if they should block. Alright, opponent goes down to 8. Well, let's see what they can do. The good news is, if they... Alright, they scoop it up. I mean, they were essentially dead. A land would have killed them. Assuming they couldn't kill the Gold Knight Castigator in that scenario. Let's see what we would have drawn. Alright. Falkenrath Gorger would not have killed them. Gaia Reach Sanitarium would. They just didn't have a way to get back into it. Well, Burn, getting it done.